Welcome back to wagertalk.com. I'm joined in studio with Dwayne Bryant. You can follow Dwayne on Twitter at DB_bettingpicks. A good follow on Twitter. And you also have a podcast that you do, you put up there, and maybe not for the younger crowd sometimes. You get a little vocal on there on occasion, but people love to hear it's a unique style, and when you get off on a rant, it's fun.
It's fun for me too, but yeah, it's the DB's Freebies podcast. It's available on my Wager Talk page, which you can find at dbbets.com. It just transfers right over to my Wager Talk page. And it's also available on SoundCloud and iTunes. Yeah, the language does get colorful sometimes. A listener will send me a question, and if it's a topic that that gets me, I can get out of hand sometimes. But I'm just me letting my personality through. But I promised to make it PG today, so.
Well, I'm worried when you get back home after your visit to Vegas, that first podcast, whenever you give the highlights of your Vegas trip. I'm just not sure what's going to come out on that one.
I'm sure you'll be listening.
Yes, I will be listening for a few days. Yeah. I will be monitoring, hear what's going on, because I have to deny everything that may come out. Yeah. But let's get to handicapping. And Dwayne, first off, I want to say there is no right or wrong way to handicap. Right. Everybody, the right style of handicapping is what is right for you as an individual. We have people that are hardcore numbers junkies, sabermetrics, everything is numbers oriented. There's situational guys, there's guys that mix the two. Whatever puts you into your comfort zone that has produced winning results for you, that's what the right recipe is. And I'm going to talk to you some of the different things that you might want to share with our viewers and listeners as to how you handicap. And I know each sport takes a different approach with you. And I'm just going to give you the floor. Go ahead and run and tell me some of your handicapping techniques. Since we're taping right now, baseball season's on the last half of it. We'll be going to playoff time in a month. And let's start with baseball. You've had a good baseball season. I know you've had a lot of you've made a lot of plays with totals. Right. And it's been very successful for you. And I don't know, I've noticed, overall you've done very well, but it seems like you had this little niche where when you've got an under, you've been really doing well with these unders. And, sometimes they just make you sweat. I don't know about you, but when I watch a game, Dwayne, I hate watching a game when I got an under. Right. It's absolutely no fun. Doesn't matter what sport it is.
Right. Well, like you said, there's more than one way to get it done. I always say 1 + 3 = 4, 2 + 2 = 4. There's more than one way to get to the same point. In baseball, for me, like you said, I did develop my own system for betting the totals. And basically, I'm very stat-oriented when it comes to baseball. So I just use the stats that I feel are most relevant for totals. An example is the walk rate of the starting pitchers. When I'm betting unders, I don't want guys that are walking a ton of batters. On the other side, if I'm betting overs, I don't want guys that aren't walking a lot of batters. The other thing is xFIP. It's a sabermetric, which I feel is a more accurate indicator of a pitcher's performance. And I'll give you the perfect example that I just used yesterday was the Giants-Milwaukee under, where Jeff Samardzija started for the Giants. Now, these numbers are from today, so it was after that start last night, but the point is the same. His ERA today is 4.67. His xFIP is only 3.46. So there's like a 1.25 difference right there. And so I think he's actually pitching better than what his basics numbers are showing. He's been a little bit unlucky. His left on base percentage is low. It's only 66.5%. His batting average of balls in play is high. It's 324. So in other words, a guy like that has a higher ERA, a lower xFIP like that, I'm going to look to bet unders in the right situation. Worked out barely yesterday, but it did work out.
A winner is a winner.
A winner's a winner. The other part of the system, you got to look at the offenses, and I look at specific situations. For example, if the Red Sox are playing against CC Sabathia tonight, he's a lefty. How are the Red Sox when they're at home at night against a left-handed pitcher? What has their offense done? And if their offense hasn't shown that they do a lot in that situation and they don't have a good history against CC, then I will try to look for the under there. And it's bullpens. I do look at the overall, but I also look at how have they done recently. Is their recent performance good or bad? What arms were available today that might not be? You put that all together, and if it passes enough filters, it will qualify as a play.
Moving into the more popular, I mean, you're having a great baseball season. I'm having a great baseball season. We're betting our games. We're making money. As far as public, it's the least popular with the public, you know, and we move into what is the most popular time of the year, football. College football, very popular, but nothing compares to NFL football. Everybody that bets, anybody that bets NFL, and most people, their first bet was an NFL game. So what do you do differently in football?
Well, football, I do use some statistics, but it's more of a situational handicapping method that I use there. Like, I will look for teams that are coming off a poor performance. I like to get good teams that are in a bounce back mode. I also like to fade teams that are in spots where they're going to potentially be looking ahead or be flat. One example is a team that came off a big game and won, and now they're playing a lesser opponent this week, especially if they have another big game the following week after that. Also, scheduling advantages. In the NFL, sometimes you'll catch a team playing their third straight road game, or you'll have, in the late season, I like to look for overs when the weather is cold. A lot of people overvalue the temperature in December, January when they're betting totals. Oh, it's 20 degrees in Chicago, I'm going to bet the under. You wait, and you can usually get a good number on the over. I think that's where the value is there, and I don't really put a big emphasis on weather, the cold in the winter, or the snow, unless it's a blizzard where you can't see. To me, the only thing that matters there is the wind. If you've got a strong wind that can affect the passing game, the kicking game, then you may be able to look at an under if you can get it early enough.
One of the biggest misconceptions with the average bettor is when they see a weather issue and they automatically go to the under. It's just the opposite. If it's not wind and they can still throw the football, a defender doesn't know where the receiver's going. The receiver knows where he's going, so he's prepared to make his cut on the field. So he's generally not going to slip. The guy that has to make that cut on the fly and wasn't prepared for it, doesn't have his feet planted the right way, he's the one that's going to maybe slip and lose a step, and all of a sudden you got a guy wide open because the guy lost the step on slipping, and that so-called bad weather really helped the score instead of hurt the score. And I agree with you 100% with that. And looking at the situational stuff you've got to do. Dwayne, good having you in town. It's been, fun 3 days you've been here. I know several times it's a good thing your phone ran out late last night because Mrs. Bryant, he was starting to talk about a long-distance relationship. I don't know, staying out here in Vegas, but phone ran out, probably good, and the drinks wore off, and then you sobered up, you're heading back home. So
wait, I sobered up? Let's tell the whole story.
That's for your podcast.
Oh,
this is mine. I control what comes out.
Payback's coming.
But good having you. Enjoy you sharing some of your stuff with us. Check out Dwayne's podcast. And guys, don't forget $2 Tuesday each and every week. You can find a capper. We pick the capper and we give his best bet. We give it away for $2. It's a great way to introduce yourself to Wager Talk, or if it's a capper you haven't tried before, what better time than to do it for $2? Check it out each and every week, $2 Tuesday. We're going to come back with another video with Dwayne. He's actually going to give you a best bet for week 1 of the NFL. Check it out next.